Hey guys, welcome to today's video. So today we're going to be talking about inner work and how it actually relates to you becoming that beautiful feminine energy woman that you want to become. We're also going to talk about why it's important as well, even if you're not in your feminine energy journey. It's important as a human and a healthy one to be able to start incorporating inner work into your daily practices. So, what is inner work, right? I feel like when I first heard this word, it was like, huh? Because it's like, what? Right? And I first came across the concept from, I smile because I first came across this concept from a YouTuber that I came across her channel 3 years ago, and it changed my life. Like, her channel changed my life, and a lot of you guys may know her. The Universe Guru, that's her channel. And I remember I was watching one of her videos, and she kept talking about inner work, and I was like, what is inner work, right? And as I started to do my healing and start doing some of the practices that I was learning at that time, then the concepts became clear. And being able to incorporate this into my daily practices, ladies, I feel like it's the biggest gift that I could have ever and still is giving myself, because it changed my life. See, there are lots of things that, lots of advices and concepts and teachings that I learned from the feminine energy community, and I'm so grateful for the content that's out there. But I noticed that there was kind of like a disconnect between my person and who I was at that time and being able to apply these practices. And so for me, I felt like a fraud doing those practices, because my internal path wasn't clear. And so I would try to engage in these feminine energy practices, and my mind and my brain would go like, what are you doing? Stop it. Right? And so for a long time, there was a disconnect for me. And then I came across the Universe Guru's channel, and she was talking about inner work, and it clicked. It clicked for me, and I was like, there it is, right? There it is. And ever since then, I had continued to incorporate this into my daily life. Like, it is my emotional food, ladies. So just as we eat physical food and enjoy food, you also have to have your emotional food, right? Things that you do to keep yourself emotionally healthy. And that's where inner work comes in. So what is inner work, right? Inner work simply means that you are taking the time and giving yourself the space to understand and take inventory of your beliefs, the things that you know to be true that are influencing your behavior. So let me break that down a little bit. So take, for example, if one of my beliefs was that plantain chips will eating too much plantain chips will cause you to gain weight. Oh, oh. As a side note, I love plantain chips. I love plantain. So even saying that, it just feels very hurtful to plantain. So, but it is an example. So if that's one of my beliefs, that eating too much plantain chips is going to, cause you to gain weight, what that means is that when I come across plantain in the grocery store, plantain chips, I'm not going to buy it, because my belief has already told me that it's going to cause me to gain weight, and I'm not looking to gain weight, so therefore I'm not going to buy it. And so that belief has formed a pattern and behavior in my shopping practices, right? So that's a simple example. And so a lot of us grew up in certain environments where we had certain perspectives on femininity. So I'm going to take this back to femininity. And I talked a little bit about that in my previous video on Our Feminine Women Week. And so for me, one of the conditioning and the belief was, if you're a woman and you allow your femininity to show, then it could come across as weakness. If you're wearing pink, then it could come across as weakness, right? And so because of that belief, during the period that I had that as part of the conditioning, right, I refused to show up as a feminine woman. I refused to allow my femininity to be expressed, right? I refused to wear pink, right? I would wear other colors that I thought was more masculine or more strong, you know? And as funny as that sounds, that little belief did shape a lot of the decisions that I was making at that time. Some that were really grave, right? And we have a lot of these beliefs that are running in the background, telling us that we shouldn't behave a certain way. We shouldn't allow ourselves to do a certain thing. We shouldn't allow ourselves to speak a certain way. We shouldn't allow ourselves to move in or belong to certain crowds because it might not be acceptable. So whatever the belief is, right? Inner work allows you to take inventory of these beliefs and rewire that. And so back to my story on one of the beliefs that I had about femininity and why I disliked it before was because, again, it did for me, it showed weakness. And so being able to have the space to even become aware that I had this belief, like, why did I dislike femininity so much, right? Changed my life, because it made me see that, first of all, femininity is anything but weak. Are you serious? It's anything but weak, right? And being able to recondition that belief to say, oh, it's okay for me to embody my femininity, to let excuse me, to let myself be in my feminine and enjoy life and know that regardless, I am a powerful woman, right? It changed my life. And so doing this across various aspects of my life and just taking inventory and becoming aware of some of the conditioning that I had as a child growing up and adopting these beliefs into my adult life and allowing them shape the decisions that I made, it was like it completely changed me, first of all. It changed me, the person that I was before I started doing inner work, and the person that I am now is like light and day. Like, are you kidding, right? Light and day. And for me, I think the biggest thing about inner work is that I was finally able to accept me. Like, I was finally able to remove all the nonsense that was playing out in my head about myself and just allow myself to be me and accept it. And ladies, it's a beautiful thing when you can get to that point. That's why I'm so passionate about this, about women doing their inner work, because it's an investment in yourself. It's great. Feminine energy work is fantastic. It's you're claiming your womanhood. Adding inner work on top and really dealing with the things that can cause you to be a wounded feminine woman. Remember, I talked about that, and pushing you into becoming a healthy feminine. Oh, it would change your life. Like, femininity has levels. It does have levels. And for me, the way that I see it is levels of consciousness and awareness and becoming that whole healthy person that you've been designed to be. So that's how I view levels. When you get to that state and you're constantly working towards it, it's like you're living on a different planet. Because what you're going to notice is that you're going to be in certain situations that will get people triggered, and you would be like, huh? What's triggering about that? You wouldn't even get it because there's no script. There's no script playing in your brain telling you shouldn't do this or you can't do this or you shouldn't do none of that nonsense. None of that chatter. It's just your being, your consciousness that's there, that is being aware of what's going on and just enjoying the moment for what it is. So I wanted to do this introductory video because I am going to create additional videos on some of the things that you can do to start doing your inner work. But one of the biggest things that I would mention in this video is that take 5 minutes every day and write down some of the negative things that you're telling yourself. It doesn't matter at what domain you're saying those things to and how the scale of the negativity. If it's something that you cannot say to someone, ouch, I just bit my I just bit my lips. Oh my gosh, that hurts. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna pause the video and just give me a second. Oh my gosh, that hurts. Okay, we're good. It's just, it hurts a little bit, but we're good. Take inventory of all the negative things that you're saying or you said about yourself that specific day. Just 5 minutes, that's all. Write it down, and I want you to do this for a week and really see the things that are playing out in your mind. Once you become aware, then it becomes easier to change those beliefs. In addition to writing down the negative things, I also want you to write down the positive things. Just take only 5 minutes. I really don't want you to spend more time on this. I say 5 minutes because it's going to force you to put down the things that quickly come to mind. And as you do this more, you're going to see certain patterns come up. And it is those patterns that we're going to flip and kick out of your mind. So a week, 5 minutes, and just note down those things. And from there, once you see the patterns that are coming up and the things that you're saying to yourself, then you want to start taking steps to reprogram your mind, remove those beliefs, and add new beliefs into your system that's going to help support you in your feminine journey. Okay, so I hope this video was useful to you ladies. How many minutes do we have? Okay, I didn't want it to be too long, but hey, it is what it is. Thank you so much for listening. Other than that, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.